what we're doing, we put the starter in, and I'm running the battery cable to the trunk, and this is welding wire that we got it at the welding shop. They only sell it in 25, 50-foot lengths. So we needed 16 to 18 foot, but we had to buy 25 foot. And I'm going to run it, put a tab here and secure it, one there and secure it, come around here, and the frame straightener, they're right here. This is a tube. I'm going to run the wire through the tube all the way to the back, come out the back, and probably go over the top just like you see it here, and then back here. Then we'll put it up here and tie it in right there. Go cross base on the body, come up here, follow it, and then come out. And we got to transition over to this side and go up in there. And the battery will be in the trunk. I haven't fully figured out exactly how I'm going to do it, but that's the general direction that I'm going right now.
This thing's going to be super strong, Fred. Everything's boxed, huh?
Yes. Yeah, I know we did the traction bars the other day, but yeah, this thing is ain't going to twist, especially
Scott got him a good car, huh?
Oh man, Scott came out on this one.
Yes, sir.
This one, we built this 2-inch drive shaft loop, and then we put the traction bars where they go up against here. This thing is built like a rock, and put the frame braces in it, and yes, he did very well. I'm very pleased with this car.
When did the drive shaft come in?
We carried it today to Lakeland, and the guy said in a couple of days. So hopefully Friday we'll go and pick it up. We got it being made, and it'll go in then, and then we're getting real close to starting this thing up. We got to build shifter linkage for it. And I got to build a transmission mount, and this is the original factory mount here, and it went on the original transmission up here, just like this one, but you can see where it used to go, and it won't fit there. So I'm probably going to have to build something to make it fit. I know I am. But it'll go in, and that's the transmission mount right there. So that's where we're at. All right, this is the 429 put in the 64 Fairlane. Scott and I put the engine in, I think it was Friday. I lose track, Thursday or Friday. We had a heck of a time getting it in because I didn't know it. The torque converter on a 460 and a 429 are totally different. This one, the torque converter has a button on the front of it about that big. On a 460, it sticks out about that far, and it goes up in the crank, the 460 button on the torque converter. Well, I didn't know that, so we tried to put this motor in with a 460 torque converter. It wouldn't fit, it wouldn't go that far enough. So we pulled it out, changed the torque converter, motor went right in. And this is not the hardest motor we've ever put in, but it went right in. The oil pan, we had a problem with it too. This is a rear sump, but the Bronco has a rear sump oil pan, and it's totally different than this. So we had to change the oil pan and put this style oil pan on. So we got this on, and then the motor went in pretty easy. After we got everything right, it took us 30 minutes to put the motor in and bolt it up. Now the next problem we had, which not a big deal either, we came over here to this side and put the master cylinder in. And it wouldn't fit with these valve covers. The way they're tall like this thing's got roll rockers in it, so we needed the height to clear them. So I put the master cylinder in and then went and cut about a ½ an inch out of the corner of it from the bottom and on the top. And it fits right in there, and I got about a ¼ inch clearance all the way around. So we can run the dual master cylinder for the disc brakes and the rear brakes. And went in pretty simple. Another thing that was an issue, nobody can tell you how to put these things in. This being a Fairlane, we put the exhaust manifolds I had on it were pollution, smog stuff. Well, they wouldn't fit in here. So we got a set that were non-pollution, that are stock exhaust manifolds, and they went in here perfect. And both sides cleared, both sides went in, and so we got the exhaust manifolds on, got the carburetor on it, got the alternator, which this one really frustrated me. See how this is done? Once you see how it's done and you get it together, I can put this together now, the alternator on this thing, in less than 5 minutes. But trying to figure out how all this stuff worked, how I had the shims behind it, I'd get it crooked, I'd get it out of whack and all that. But once I did it, it works good. It's very simple. They just put this in my opinion, backwards. I've never seen one done this way. And why they originally put the coil up here is beyond me. They drill a hole right here, and this is the stationary part, and it pivots from here, where most of the time it's the other way. The alternator pivots out here, or swings, or slides. But it's just got one bolt running through the bottom here, and it's bolted on with this plate right here. Very simple. I can't get over how easy it was to put it once you figure it out. But getting it to that point was a big deal. So that's where we're at now. We had a problem with the distributor was seized in it. So I soaked it down with WD-40 for about 3 days. And I came out, put a pair of vice grips on it, tapped it with a hammer, and it moved. So now the distributor's free. So we got it all together. And this thing ain't that far from getting started. I have a friend, I'm no electrician, wired. He was supposed to be over yesterday and he didn't show up, and he didn't show up today. When I see him, I'm gonna let him know. And that's my pal, Chris. I'll leave it at that. I won't tell you his name, Chris. So he's supposed to come over and wire it for me and get the ignition switch and all that. I can't lay down in the car and look up for it. So that's where we're at. We're getting close. I hope in another week we'll be able to crank this thing out. This is where we mounted the battery, and I made this deal here for a Optima battery, the battery tray. And when I carried it down to the parts store where I buy parts, the battery they had on the Optima, it fit perfect. But this stinking battery won't fit in it. And what they've done, they put little tabs on the outside of it, and it won't slide back far enough. So what I'm going to have to do is cut that off and that off, and it'll slide down, and then it'll stay in. But it isn't a big deal. It's just the guy that sold me the battery sold me the wrong battery. Thank you. And we come on under here.
Coming.
The old engine and transmission were shorter, so this is the transmission mount from the this car, and I thought it was going to work, but it won't, because the bolts, you can see them right up in there, go through here, and they touch the transmission, but that's it. So you can't get a longer bolt in here. So what I'm going to do, I put this up, and I cut these, and I'm going to put this right here like this, and I can get it to the exact height that I need it, tack it in here, weld it, drill a hole through this, and the transmission mount's fixed. Very simple. I thought it was going to be more difficult than that, but turned out very nice. So this piece is just to hold the transmission up while we're working on it. So the other thing that I did, I got to go down to the parts store, Advanced Auto Parts, and get a solenoid to put in here. So I'm thinking, how can I run this battery cable up to the front? I thought about running it out here on top of this. Well, what I did, this is square tubing. I came back here to the back and drilled a hole in it. And then we're going to put a grommet around that. This goes through here. You never see it.
Oh, that'll be a trick. That'll be nice.
Yeah, concealed. Then I got to figure out how to come up here and around over to here. This you will see. But I think I'm going to do something like that. And I'll take care of that. Oh, and then I'm going to bring this up here and put a hanger here. And then I can't decide whether to drill a hole through here, which I may do through this. Drill a hole through it, come out the other side, and then go back to where I need to go. So that's where we're at.
Can you just go into the body under there? And then just bring the thing inside the car up there?
You know, Emil, you may have a good idea there, buddy.
That's all.
Yeah, good idea. It's good to have somebody come
Morning,
over.
Chris.
Hey, good afternoon.
Here comes the man who knows just about everything.
Almost.
Almost.
I don't know the secret of life yet.
I know
The
it.
purpose.
Fred can share.
I'm not counting. You have to take a little bit of it at a time. That's what I try to do. You know what I'm doing? I'm building a transmission. Come here and look at this. You see where the original transmission was?
Yeah.
It wouldn't fit.
Yeah.
So, I figured, how am I going to do this? I think about putting my luck here and then bolt this in. A lot of times you're better off to bolt stuff in. Drill a hole in this. This goes up in here. And I can set this any way that I want to set it. I'll tack it here. Do the same thing to the other side and take it out. Pretty simple. And it looks like the original transmission, but it's not. But that's what I'm doing.
That's your monkey. You can do it any way you want.
That's right. And the way I'm doing it. You can see that. Well, then, I'm set up.
And that works really fine.
Then I run my battery cables through the strip. The solenoid, and it goes out to
It's always better when you run a transmission out to make this solid and bolt that. That's why the bolt was there. The reason why is if you put this, weld this, and then bolt it here, right? That way, when you put this here and it's welded solid, that's on there. Then you jack your transmission up, pull the training mount out. This is going to be a lot more strong because now you're not sitting putting all the pressure on the bolt and the nut. You're putting all the pressure on the welded bracket that's on the frame.
Okay, so you're talking about running another piece across
That's what I'm
here.
saying. It would take one more step to put a piece of metal on the cross member.
Across here?
Yeah, you'd have to weld a piece because you want it to sit up that high. So you'd have to weld a piece here.
No, because this is here.
Okay. Well, if you can bring the whole, well, you can space the whole thing down like that.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Then you just put the bolt through there, and that's going to be way stronger. Put a spacer in. Spacer in here. Right there. Put a couple of spacers in there, and that way you can move it wherever you want to.
Yeah, I could move it, drop it there.
Yep. That's
Okay.
super much stronger.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Good idea. I'm willing to listen. Then I put this in, but I gotta get a solenoid and then do the frame stiffener. And everybody's out to help me, and I appreciate it. Right, Emil?
Oh yeah.
Right.
So it just needs from here forward. And it's got everything from the turn signals already wired in. I'm sure one of them's plugged. And that's it. And all we need is wired out to the front of the headlights, the gauges. I don't know what think this is. But we want to put a pod here, the 3 gauges, water temperature, oil pressure.
So if there only needs the lights and the fuel gauge. Because he's not gonna need the temperature gauge up there on the thing, or the generator light, or the oil light, because all that's gonna be in the gauges.
Right, yeah.
So
And
the only gauge up there is gonna be lights and the fuel. On your instrument cluster, the only wiring that needs to be done up there is gonna be lights to it and the fuel gauge. Yeah,
because you'll have the other stuff.
right on the bottom.
Yeah, and then, I don't know if you want to read it, but, that is all there, and then there's the headlight switch.
Camera
lights.
switch.
Yeah, and it comes out to this, which I painted over. Just pull that out.
Light wire down,
Yeah, and then I don't know where you want to go, wherever you want to go on this thing. Down underneath this. No,
Is he gonna be taking the front end back off, or is it staying on?
it'll stay on, but it can be taken off.
Well, if it were mine, I would run it inside the fender wheel. That way it's all hidden, it goes straight to the headlight, and then you run it across there.
Good, I was looking for it. And we'll leave it like, this takes 30 minutes to put. So I was able to get a twin cylinder master cylinder. See what I did there?
That's nice.
Yeah. Fit right in. Here's a simple system. My man Joe don't like it. This is too simple. But this, when I took it off, the Bronco, I didn't think anything about it. I took it off. Holy crap, it took me hours to figure out how this thing goes back on. If I did it right now, it'd be 5 minutes. Because of
I like
this. You like this?
I like it.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a standard look, but I like it because it's simple.
Yes, simple, it moves here, then it's got the bolt.
Straight bolt through.
Yeah, it's loose, but it fits up against this, the block, and then you gotta get the right number of washers in it to get it where it does this and where it does this. Now, it's a little cockeyed, it needs a longer bolt, because you see where the belt sits back, but a bolt that much longer would work perfect, and everything's done. But ain't that simple once you see it? And if you don't like this look, you can cut it off right there.
If you want to.
Yeah. I mean, when I look at it, I think, holy cow, I mean, it's 2, 1, 2, I like it. 4 bolts. So,
The next gonna be is hooking up all the, for the starter, for the going with, and that kind of stuff.
yeah, see, if you got a better place for the cylinder, see, because the problem I got is that this exhaust pipe and the starter, we wire it to is right here. So I'm looking at it out here, could be over here.
I wouldn't put it on the outside.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm talking about drilling a hole in here, bolting it in.